Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here on Sawiko. Today we are going to be doing a unboxing, setup, and partially a review of this cool little deluxe net breeder by Penn-Plax. It's got some French on it, so maybe it's a French company. I don't know if I would consider this like a cheap product or a knockoff product or anything like that. It's just more of a potentially foreign product, so that means a little bit cheaper than some of the other products. Now, what this is used for is a couple of different cases. You can see ours back there. We have two of them already in a 40-gallon breeder with some goldfish fry. So we had a clutch of goldfish hatch out, and we put half in one and half in another. And basically what ended up happening is they grew up, and then the tank still had a bunch of algae and such from when the adult goldfish were in there before we moved them onto the 75-gallon. And what ended up happening was we let them grow up to a certain point, and then we took the actual breeder boxes themselves, and as you can see, we pushed them down in the water. So they have somewhere still safe. You know, there's no predators in the tank, but safe to go in and hide if they want to, but they also get to free roam the entire aquarium, eat brine shrimp and things like this, or things like that rather. But this is an awesome product to be able to target feed, keep baby fish from going with adult fish, all kinds of stuff. So, as you can see, there's a couple of different pieces in here. So you should have 4 pieces in a baggie. So you have 2 pieces that look like this with a small and a large end. You should have one bottom piece that has these like little holes right there. And you should have a top piece that also has the holes with no mesh. This little baggie we'll get to in a second. First, we need to create the system itself. So, as you can imagine, these two are the sides. This is not necessarily a tutorial, more of an unboxing, and you're watching me do it, so if you choose to do it the same way that I do it, then hey, congrats. But basically there's 2 options with this. There is a backside that has this little indent, and also the screen is quite visibly on the backside, and there's a front side where the screen is not quite visibly like that. Well, what you do is you fold it over, and it creates a little bit of a not quite right angle. This is good because when you do push it forward, it creates pressure, especially when you're putting it into the slots. So on the bottom, the base plate here, there's a bunch of these little slots, and you just want to, as you can imagine, slot it in. And then what will happen is it'll all snap together after a little bit of finagling. Okay, this one's gonna be difficult. But after a little bit of finagling, it'll all fit in good to go. Let's go ahead and try it this way first. Okay, so just like that, and we're good to go. Something very important to note, how I showed you how this has a backside and a front side, the bottom does too. So yeah, just pay attention to that. But what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to snap this other side on and get the top on, which actually, let me make sure that that is, yes, I'm gonna go ahead and snap on the other sides and the top, and then we'll finagle with this cool little baggie, and then I can talk about how much I actually love these things. These are pretty good. We have 2 of them unopened, one of them that we're doing now, the 2 in the tank, so we got 4 in total. I really like these things. And they're cheap, they're like 10 bucks, but I'll get this the rest of the way. One thing I forgot to note, because hey, I built 2 of them. One thing I forgot to note real quick is on the top and the bottom, they both have these little rungs. Obviously make sure that the rungs are on the same side. Totally didn't have a 50-50 chance because I wasn't thinking. I was just listening to a podcast and making these. Totally didn't have a 50-50 chance to mess up on both of them and have to unsnap it and, you know, remake it. Not at all. But I have this other one built for a very specific reason. I want to show you quickly how to actually build this little gantry system on the back of how to like attach it to the aquarium and why it's so important that this gantry system is in there. I think gantry system's the right phrase for it. I think it's a gantry, but I also want to show you the difference between with the foliage in it and without the foliage in it. Basically, there's a couple of things that you're gonna need. So of course, once you get the box together, you're gonna get these little caps in a 6-pack in case you lose 2 of them. You're gonna get these 2 rigid airline, basically is what they feel like, but just like little tubes. And you're gonna get the actual, I think it's a gantry, just slide system. You're gonna get the actual piece there. So what you wanna do is what I do is I just put it on its side and I pick either the top or the bottom and I put the straws, the tubes, whatever you wanna call them through, and then you're gonna feed it through the little slide and through the little slide. And you're just gonna push it through, get it through the next set of holes, and boom, there you go. So now it's sliding on the rungs. What you do then is you take this little 6-pack of caps and you snap off one of them and put it here, and then you snap off another, and guess what? You put it on the next tube. I know, very, very exciting, very complicated. You've stayed this long, hit a like button because I'm showing you the real details. But then you take off 2 more and you put it on the top. Now, for all of you that can't imagine why this is necessary, why is there a sliding system, maybe you've never used one of these before, or it's just something that you're not thinking about, but there's a very, very important reason that this is happening. First, the caps are on there to make sure that, because right now I can pull this one out, the caps are on there to make sure that that can't come out. This would go into the tank with the suction cup here, and then what happens is, actually it would go here because it's going to float, because this will float in the water, so it's actually going to go down here. Now what happens is the water level is going to sit right here, so the fish can't really jump over this lip. They're going to be too tiny. Maybe they'll get out, maybe a few will escape. We had 1 escape, but I think it was just due to us because we were transferring them into this box and then into something else. But it's going to be just like this. Now, water change happens, right? This goes with the level of the water. So be careful, you don't want to drain it past the point where the suction cup is, because then your fry are going to be out of water and that's not good. Realistically, you're probably not going to be doing large water changes if you have enough volume. Like, they're in a 40-gallon breeder and it's 20 fry. They're not producing enough to warrant a huge water change, but we do still give them fresh water, and we're trying to change out all the methylene blue from the original 10-gallon they were in that we siphoned them out of. But that's the point of this. Absolutely love that little system. Next, you have these. So you have these little like clippy bits that have these little nodules on them, and what you do is you kind of just pick where you want them, really. You might have 3 on one side, you might have 1 on one side, 2 on each, which I'm going to go for a 2 on each approach. You have these longer, I guess they're all about the same size. I really thought that they were different sizes, but what we ended up doing was just doing 2 and 2 on the ones over there. So I'm going to stick with just 2 and 2, but you just pressure fit them into the little nodule right there, and then boom, you've got your foliage. Now, why would you want something like this? Well, you come in here and you clip it in to the actual breeder box. There we go. And now, there we go. That one's clipped in. Man, this right side's just not wanting to clip in. It's not the worst thing in the world. There we go. So it clips in, and then what happens is you've got some foliage in there for them to feel safe, hide behind. Of course, more beneficial bacteria to grow on, and microfauna, and this, that, and the third. It's always good to have more and more surface area, but there's these little ridges in the actual the breeder box itself that these snap into, and it is a little bit of a fine system, so to say, to get them to snap in properly, depending on how snug the setup was for you. But that's not too bad right there, and I can fix it up. But the reason I wanted to set up this other one is because you don't have to put those in there. This is just for less stress, more micro algae, I guess technically, but not microorganisms, beneficial bacteria, more beneficial bacteria to grow on here. But I mean, these are your 2 options. Either you can go with the densely packed foliage or nothing. It's up to you. I absolutely love these things. I'm gonna pack both of them with the foliage, and I'm gonna go ahead and do this one off camera in just a moment here. But I did want to show you the tank. I wanted to show you a little bit about why I love them so much and why they're still in the tank if I have the fish free swimming. Okay, and here's the 40-gallon breeder that you saw in the background. So we've still got the two things in here. This 40-gallon breeder is where those goldfish over there that are in the 75 were at one point. Yeah, that stuff's probably not there anymore, but hey, it's cool editing stuff. But this little dude back here, let's see if we can get a good angle on him. And of course, he's gonna be behind all of that good algae that they like to munch on. But let's see if we can focus up on him. Yeah, you can see him kind of there. He's gonna move around and of course be behind the algae. But that chunk of a goldfish, and let's go ahead and move it this way. There we go. You can see him in the back there. That chunk of a goldfish fry, he actually escaped from one of the boxes and then has just been eating like microfauna and all of the algae that's all over the place. And if you're like, why is this tank a little bit blue? Like I said moments ago, methylene blue is still in there. But why do we keep these boxes in here if we have all of the fry free swimming? Like if we just do a pan, it's like you can see some down there. A little bit harder to see on camera, but I mean, if you pay attention, you'll be able to find them in there. But you know, we've got fry all over this tank, but it's because if you see this one right here, if we punch in on it, he's still in the breeder box. That one's still in the breeder box. This one's behind the breeder box, if it would focus. These two are behind the breeder box. Brine shrimp are still getting caught in the netting of the breeder box and also, of course, free floating. So this gives them a spot where they have the whole 40-gallon and they can go around and we dose enough, not dose, but we feed enough baby brine shrimp in there that, trust me, they've got enough food to eat for days. But they have the ability to graze the entire aquarium and then go back in. Now, before we let them out and they were really tiny, these were all the way at the top at the water level. So if we open up the lid here and not kick the air pump into the aquarium, that would not be a fun experience for us. But, and actually, if we go this way, you can see a bunch more are actually in the breeder box right now. But this was all the way at the water level. So you'd have the breeder box at the water level, and as the water level drops, so too does the breeder box, like we talked about earlier. But at the top, you could take out any that have perished. You could target feed with brine shrimp. It's just really awesome. I love these products. They're $10 on Amazon. If you're breeding fish, pick up a couple of them because you never know when you're gonna want them or need them or use them, because you could easily take this and put it into a pre-existing tank and just put the fry in there. If you have live bears, a lot of people will put the female in here. The female will have its babies. They take the female out and the babies raise up in that breeder box. Really, really simple, really, really awesome setup. But that's enough talking. I love these things. Only been using them for, I don't know, 3 months now, but it's a breeder box. There's not much to it. If there's any catastrophic failures, I'll make a video in the future and put a comment in this video. But until then, I'm happy with them. It's 10 bucks on Amazon. You should probably pick one up yourself. They also are probably some version of this, if not the exact same one, at your local fish store. But until next time, hopefully you enjoyed. Like this video, subscribe for more videos. We got some really cool stuff coming up in the near future, and I will see you in the next video.